This episode of Inspire AI Podcast is sponsored by Exponent 21. I keep hearing the same thing from business leaders lately. We're doing the work, but leads are harder to explain. Traffic is down, attribution feels fuzzy, and the old answers don't really fit anymore. What's changed is how people search. Instead of clicking links, people are asking questions, and AI is answering them. Tools like ChatGPT, Google's AI-powered results, and Perplexity are shaping which brands get mentioned, referenced, and remembered. Exponent 21 specializes in AI SEO. They help businesses understand how to show up consistently inside those AI-generated answers across questions about their industry, their services, and their brand. What stands out to me is that when people ask AI tools, who's leading in this space? Exponent 21 and its leaders are often referenced near the top. That comes from doing the work and shaping how this new search environment actually functions. To understand what this shift means for your business, visit exponent21.com. Welcome back to Inspire AI, the podcast where we make sense of big technological shifts so that you can lead with clarity in an AI-accelerated world. So what if I told you the AI race isn't actually about AI models anymore? Models like GPT versus Claude, not benchmarks, not even research breakthroughs. It's about something more physical: electricity, chips, land, permits, capital. In 2026, the winners of the AI race won't just be the ones who build the smartest systems. They'll be the ones who can actually run them everywhere, reliably, and at scale. Today, we're stepping back from the noise and answering a deeper question. Who is really winning the AI race? And how should you think about it as a leader? Because if you're making decisions about AI adoption, investments, or strategy, you don't need headlines. You need a mental model that holds up in the real world. And that's exactly what we're building today. This episode is grounded in a full research brief and framework and aligned with the deeper mission of Inspire AI to help leaders stay effective as intelligence becomes ambient. It's really important to start with reframing, because the AI race has split into two different competitions. Frontier power. Who can build the most advanced systems? This is where massive models, cutting-edge chips, and hyperscale compute live. And industrial diffusion. Who can deploy AI everywhere? Into factories, hospitals, logistics, classrooms, city systems. These two races have different winners. Frontier power is still dominated by the US ecosystem. However, the industrial diffusion is where China is rapidly closing ground and in some cases pulling ahead. That distinction alone changes how you interpret almost every AI headline. Let me give you the most useful framework from the entire episode. AI advantage actually equals energy times compute times chips, times capital, times distribution. So let's break that down briefly, but practically. We'll start with energy. It is the new bottleneck. AI runs on electricity, and not a lot, not a little, a lot. Data centers are becoming one of the largest consumers of power globally. In the US, they are already a meaningful share of total electricity demand and rising fast. This changes the game because now the question isn't, can we build the model? It's, can we power it continuously and at scale? Then there's compute. Even with billions in investment, companies are hitting real-world constraints, grid connection delays, transformer shortages, cooling limitations, land and permitting issues. This is where strategy meets physics. Money alone doesn't solve these problems. Chips. This is the conversion layer. Chips are what turn electricity into intelligence. And right now, they're still the most concentrated layer of power in a stack. This is where the US leadership is strongest, but also where global tension is highest. And capital, yes, hundreds of billions are being invested. And the truth is, you can't deploy capital faster than the physical world allows, because that creates execution risk at scale, where we've never seen it before. And finally, there's distribution. Maybe the most underrated factor, because it's not about building AI at this point. It's about embedding it into workflows, organizations, systems people actually use. And this is where the race becomes less about innovation. This is where the race turns the corner of innovation into integration. So the frontier of power is about who has the strongest chip ecosystem, who has the biggest capital deployment, who is leading the AI labs and platforms. Things that hold the frontier power back are slow infrastructure build-out, grid constraints, and permitting and coordination. Where the accelerating and diffusion comes into play, that's China's advantage. Time to power and build velocity. With faster infrastructure deployment, massive energy expansion, and strong integration into industrial systems. This means that China may not always win on the best model, but it can win where AI actually gets used. And then there's a third competitor right now that I'll speak about, and that's Europe, where they have the best governing system. Governing the system is their superpower. They're not leading in compute or chips, but it is shaping something else. The rules of AI deployment, where regulation, compliance, and trust frameworks determine outcomes like what gets deployed, where it gets deployed, and how it gets deployed. That influence is slower, but it's very powerful. There's a shift that'll change everything, and it's a bit more subtle, quiet even. Open models and falling costs. AI is getting cheaper, more efficient, and more accessible, which means the advantage of having the best model is shrinking. What's growing is the advantage of being able to deploy faster, integrate better, and operate cheaper. And that's the momentum of the race, where it shifts from who builds the smartest AI to who uses AI most effectively. I want to think about for a second what that means for you, for me. It's not just about geopolitics. It's framed up in decision-making. We should begin asking ourselves, where will my AI actually run? Is it on the cloud? Is it on-prem? On the edge? What dependencies do I have on infrastructure, power, latency, cost, regulation, chip accessibility? Am I building flexibly into the AI stack, or am I locking into one vendor, one model? Am I optimizing for capability or for usability? Those questions stand out to me because the organizations that win won't be the ones chasing every breakthrough. They'll be the ones who understand the constraints, design for reality, and move early before bottlenecks hit. Okay, so the final takeaway is the AI race is not a technology race as much as it's a systems race. As I've said, it's a race between infrastructure and innovation, speed and coordination, power generation, and intelligence deployment. And those that understand that will make better decisions long before the outcome is obvious or impactful. Okay, as promised, there's your clarity for the day, only from Inspire AI. Let your clarity compound, because in a world where intelligence is becoming ambient, judgment becomes your edge. So until next time, stay curious, keep innovating, and keep building the kind of understanding that actually holds up when the world gets more complex and more intelligent.